Welcome to Tekedia Daily. I'm Ndubuisi, Ekekwe. Today, our topic is the rise of Paga. Paga is a fintech company based in Lagos, Nigeria. It started as a mobile money company, but it has since pivoted, offering other services to the markets besides just mobile money. Recalled vividly when M-Pesa for Safaricom in Kenya took over the world with the success recorded in Kenya. So many countries, including Nigeria, basically started exploring ways to replicate that miracle, that payment financial miracle across the globe. So in Africa, Nigeria was one of the countries that actually took it. And Paga was one of the foremost companies that received the mobile money license. But Paga is totally not just a mobile money company, because mobile money did not necessarily pick up very well in Nigeria. So he pivoted and moved into other services. And it doesn't necessarily emphasize the mobile money just the way they do that for M-Pesa. But he still sends money to people, to anyone. And of course, when he sends money to people, it means people can receive money from anyone. And he can also do that using your cell phone number. That implies that he's still doing mobile money. It also provides avenue for people to shop securely through his platforms across the digital ecosystems. And it helps you to accept payment from everyone. And this it does, not necessarily in the digital platforms, but also in the mid-space. In most parts of South Nigeria geopolitical zone, electricity bills people can pay through Paga, and it's increasingly building an agency system with merchants, representatives, and agents across major markets in Nigeria. Paga is a fintech company on a mission, which is continuously reinventing itself, looking at the market dynamics, looking at how it can position itself to compete, and it's doing very well. Paga is still a private company, so we don't necessarily have the full picture of his financial well-being. But one thing we know, according to his CEO, Tayo Oviesu, he noted that in 2016, through Twitter, that they processed more than 9.5 million transactions of a total worth of 156 billion Nigerian naira. And we also know that Paga has more than 5 million customers. And the good news here is that this 156 billion naira worth of transaction is actually year-on-year growth. And that tells you exactly how this company is growing. You know, if you take about 3% of the total transaction value to be its earnings, basically its income, PayPal takes about 2.99. So I'm estimating, because the cost of doing business in Nigeria is higher, Paga actually has a right to take more cuts to compensate for some of the other issues. Running his generator, of course, taking care of repairing car tires faster because we don't have any good road. He may actually be charging more than 2.99. So let's just say it's 3%. That gives you about 4.6 billion naira in income. If you look at a company that has about 50 staff, it's possible that in 2016, Paga made about 2 billion naira profit. So we are giving it that expenses, taxes, every other thing, depreciation, we take it down by about 2.6 billion. So from that 4.6 billion, take it out that 2.6 billion, you have 2.2 billion naira in profit. Now compare it one of the old generation banks. So this bank has been in existence for decades in Nigeria. That's Wema Bank. Wema Bank reported 2.56 billion profit after tax in 2016. This gives you an idea what it means when we are talking about fintech, about the realignment, about the redesign of the financial sector. If you have 50 staff generating roughly a profit of 2 billion naira, and I know that Wema Bank has thousands of staff, both full-time, both part-time, both full graduates, both attachees, contract staff, is going to have thousands of staff. So if you put that together, you could see that the cost-to-income ratio for Paga is exceedingly better than what Wema Bank will have. And if in the near future, this is going to continuously be the trajectory, because the growth rate at 100% that Paga is experiencing, certainly there is no bank in Nigeria, maybe excluding the top 3 or the top 5, I would say, GTB, Zenith Bank, Access Bank, UBA, and maybe Stanbic IBTC Bank can generate such level of growth, but they don't. So Paga is just doing it, and this is certainly the future, because the young people who may not necessarily have a lot of money today, but tomorrow are going to be the financial kingpins of the country, are increasingly mobile, are also increasingly digital. That means the company that positions itself is going to be the company that will serve these people as they become the big dudes maybe in the next 10 years. And that is the reason why we think in the future Paga should look for having a bank license, because there are so many elements of innovation that the Nigerian banking sector will not allow you to do. You may not really have a bank to partner because some of them are risk averse. So that's why it has to buy one of these Nigerian banks. Many of them are weak, with less than $30 million if they are ready to sell anyway. That is what their total market value owes. So if he can do that, it means that it will have the opportunity of creating very huge innovative products built for the customer. And one could actually build a proprietary customer credit system that will enable you to now take banking into the true digital domain, where you can actually offer better personalized services that you can also command better fees. And Paga can also look how can it become that center where Nigeria becomes the hub for business in West Africa or even beyond. Everyone knows that Nigerian population positions it to become the envy of the West Africa, of Africa. Everyone wants to do business in Nigeria because the economy of Lagos is largely one of the largest economies in Africa. If Lagos is a country, it should be among the top 6 or even not the top 5 countries in the GDP. If you look at the gross domestic product of Lagos. So how can it position itself so that companies that want to reach the Lagos citizens, the Lagos customers or Nigerian customers can go through Paga? I'm thinking something similar to what Stripe Atlas actually gave the world. That is Stripe. They're also a mobile fintech company in the United States that made it possible that irrespective of your location, you can actually run and earn income and receive payments in a US bank. Paga can become that institution for Africa because Nigeria is a very important market for anyone to actually mix. So it has to also understand the challenges that are coming from Flutterwave and PyStack, because these companies, especially Flutterwave, has also taken a Pan-African strategy. That means that if he can execute his strategy Pan-African-wise, it will lock up the opportunity. It will lock up Uganda, it will lock up Tanzania, it will lock up every part of Africa because it is scaling and it is moving right at the same time. So Paga has to ask itself, can he just stay in Nigeria, or is it time to begin to think how he can aggressively begin to knock on the doors of some of these African countries? And he has to do this at a pure digital strategy instead of building pipelines in the mid space. we think that Paga, which has raised, we estimate, about $20 million, is actually going to have at least 3x multiples if it wants to exit today. That means that it must have generated 3x. That gives that the company should be worth more than at least $60 million in value. And we are giving it an easy barometer score of 3.5 for excellent, solid management, for great product vision, for agility, ability to adapt to change as the market changes, as the market transmutes, it has constantly evolved and emerged. So this is a typical Nigerian firm, and we are estimating that Paga is going to be one of those critical companies that will be remembered as a pioneering firm in the fintech sector in this country. And we expect it to continue to evolve, continue to perform, continue to execute, and to continue to uplift the well-being of its countrymen by giving them better financial services. So tomorrow we'll be looking at the Elumelu way, looking at what some of the things we can learn from the legendary banker, Lagos banker, and an African entrepreneur. What can we learn? What can we pick from some of the things Elumelu has done, and also how he does things? I'll be sharing those perspectives tomorrow. This is Tekedia Daily. I'm Ndubuisi Ekekwe. Thank you for your time today.